And I'm Ken Behrens on the Behrens Show, oddly enough. And along with me is the man who was probably the Alan Thicke of his day. Joey Bishop, how are you?
Good, fine. How are you?
Oh, fine. Listen, this is a treat for me to talk with you.
First of all, I'm not too crazy about the introduction. The Alan Thicke of his day.
Alan's had a lot of problems trying to compete with Johnny, and
Yeah, but I was on for 3 years opposite Johnny.
you were, and really that takes an awful lot to do, I think, because
I'm only kidding.
well, you had a kind of rough time. Are you familiar with a book called The Directory of TV Shows
No.
to Primetime Network? Let me just say I just want to read what they say about your show, okay?
Sure.
The Joey Bishop Show is one of several attempts by ABC to establish a strong late-night talk show. Joey had been quite successful as a substitute host for Johnny Carson on NBC, and it was hoped that perhaps he could lure some of Carson's audience away permanently. You were successful. Now, that's a compliment to you, right? That's good. The beginning was not auspicious. The program was originally done live, and on premiere night, guest Governor Ronald Reagan showed up 14 minutes late. Petite actress Debbie Reynolds, demonstrating how to help someone on fire, tackled announcer Regis Philbin and threw him to the floor to smother the flames. Do you remember that?
Sure. Sure. And Danny Thomas was my other guest.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Says on the second night, Joey gave a big introduction to guest Buddy Greco, only to be gesturing toward an empty curtain. Seems Buddy was still in the dressing room.
No, what happened was Buddy Greco had received word that day that afternoon, as a matter of fact, that his wife had decided to go with David Jansen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he couldn't stop crying.
Oh, well, see, now we don't learn all that kind of thing until we find out. Yeah. Anyway, you're one of my favorites, and I
Thank you. Let me just bring you up to date also, which I think might be as long as you sound so very fair.
Okay.
We had about 33 to 35 CBS stations, and we were doing very well, very, very well against Carson. As a matter of fact, 3 months prior to my being canceled, I had signed another 18-month contract. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then Merv decided, and CBS decided that Merv would go on CBS, if you recall, between Carson and me.
Oh, yeah, so it wasn't just a two-way split. It was a three-way split for the audience, wasn't
it?
And
then all of a sudden, I lost 35 CBS stations.
And that could do it right there.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. TV is a rough business. I give anybody that is a household name. You know what gets me? We're going to talk about stars and greetings from the stars, which you're opening here, which is neat. But you know what gets me is when someone says, and now a star, and they have to tell you it's a star, because otherwise you wouldn't recognize them.
Yeah.
You know, names like Joey Bishop.
Yeah.
You mentioned Joey, and I guess you're going to automatically think of Joey Bishop. Maybe not Joey Faye or Joey Lewis, although some of those people are around. But Joey Bishop is a household name, and that's...
well, that may be because of the Rat Pack and all that stuff.
Could be.
Yeah.
You had a show before that, too, the Joey Bishop comedy show.
Yeah. I also did 3 years of a show called Keep Talking, which was the original improv.
Ah, where people would just get up and have to...
No. We would be given the opening line of a theme.
Mm-hmm.
And then when our buzzer buzzed, we had to pick up wherever the dialogue was.
Oh, that is tough.
Yeah, especially on TV.
Uh-huh. We talked with, I'll think of his name in a minute, Joe Besser, not too long ago, and he was one of the people that was on your other show.
Right.
Played Mr. Gilson.
Yeah, he played the janitor.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's get to the greeting cards here.
Okay.
Actually, they're not greeting cards; they're greeting tapes, which is a brand new idea that you've come up with.
Yeah, greeting cassettes.
Yeah. How in the world did you think of that? I think it's a great idea.
Well, there was a germ of a thought, by a gentleman named Murray Peasant, who was on the Vancouver Stock Exchange, and he said, "What can we do with this?" I said, "I think if you get celebrities for it, it'll make the difference." And he says, "Go out and get them." So I went out and got 36 celebrities.
And we're talking big names here.
Oh yeah. We're talking nice names too. You know what I mean? Where you would like to hear them say happy birthday, happy anniversary to you.
Yeah. Could we give a little sample here to the folks?
Sure.
Because I just have a hunk of tape here that I could just play, and this gives you an idea
All right.
what Joey's been working on.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Buddy Hackett. You're going to get a smell from a nice fresh cake with whipped cream. Happy birthday to you from Buddy Hackett.
Hi, this is Phyllis Diller. And it's your birthday. My last birthday gift was a bottle of perfume, Evening in Des Moines, $1.98 a quart. I used it to dry clean the dogs. But you have a happy birthday.
Well, now, hello there. I'll bet you don't know who this is, do you? Well, it's Foster Brooks, and I'm here to on this very special day, to spend a couple of seconds with you to wish you. You didn't know that I knew it was your birthday, did you? Well, a little bird, an old crow came in and told me that it was your birthday.
Hi, this is Scatman Crothers. I hear you're getting married. Congratulations. Remember this. Two have now become as one. So go yonder hence whither. You want to get married? Go on, get married.
Hi, this is Norm Crosby, and I hear you're getting married. Well, that's wonderful. Marriage is an institution. If you want to live in an institution, fine.
Hi, this is Sally Struthers. I hear you need cheering up. If you are down in the dumps, pick me up a spare tire. No, this is Sally Struthers saying, come on, cheer up. Hello.
And they go on, don't they, Joey?
Yeah.
There's in fact, this is just a little sampling of what each of the celebrities says.
That's exactly what it is, Ken. That's a sampling, and that's used in the store, so the people walking by can hear as many as possible. Mm-hmm. On the cassette, which, by the way, is a mailer. It folds over and mails, and you can record your own messages on the reverse side.
So, yeah, you can send your own little greeting well as...
In the actual cassette, which has 3 celebrities on each cassette, they do about 45 seconds to a minute each. Mm-hmm. Here you've got about 8 to 10 seconds.
That is kind of neat, and while, of course, they're not going to know the person's name, it's kind of a general thing, and yet it seems very specialized because you had some kind of a friend mail it.
Right.
That's really no different than anybody sitting down at Hallmark or wherever writing a greeting card, except it's...
except when you see the print of a card, you don't know whether or not that person really did it.
Oh, yeah. But here you do. It's their actual voice.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you got some big names on that, and I don't know what it goes for, but evidently these are in a lot of the same stores you would be able to buy cards, aren't they?
$3.95.
Okay, it's a good quality cassette.
Right.
One of those that won't jam the first time it's played.
I hope not.
and you can you can mail that out.
Right.
Joey, I wonder if anybody has any questions for you. You've been around in show business. I don't know a whole lot about you other than, like I say, I've always enjoyed you whenever I've seen you here and there on a roast or whatever. And I wish there was more of you on TV lately.
Well, thank you. If I come up with some good idea or some good thought, I would. If I ever did a talk show again, I would do it with just plain people.
Just what do you mean by plain people?
Well, I think there's a lot out there. I call them street people. People who go to work every day, and you'd be surprised how much of their lives are something.
Some of them.
The guy who sells newspapers all year, even in the snow, or the guy who sells soft pretzels or something on the street,
Mm-hmm.
The cab driver, the elevator operator.
We've had a little glimpse into some of those people's lives, just maybe with Candid Camera or something like that, but we've never really had those...
No. With Candid Camera, these people were being put on, so they did not react as they normally would. They
That's
acted
true.
Mostly with astonishment or surprise or dismay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about, you talk to a guy who's been peddling newspapers for 52 years. There must be a lot of life attached to this guy.
He's probably noticed stuff out on the street that most of us never even think of.
Now you've hit it right on the head.
Yeah.
Now you've hit. He can tell you who's going to give him the exact amount of money for the paper, who's going to tip him, who's going to try to stiff him. I think what we have to get back to in television, and it comes with live television, and that's honesty. When you take a celebrity and they come on, they submit the questions to you that you're going to ask the celebrity.
They do.
Of course.
They want to know all that ahead of time.
No, they're telling you ahead of time.
Oh, they're telling you ahead of time.
They're telling you ahead of time.
We didn't do that, by the way, today. Joey just said, let's just talk, and that's...
Yeah, that's okay with me, yeah.
That's the way I like to do it.
Well, you sound like you enjoy doing it that way.
Uh-huh. It makes it more interesting and more fun. Now that I'm thinking of the blooper shows. Remember when TV was done live?
Oh, of course. I did my first year on Talk Show Live.
And you saw when a blooper was a blooper, it was a blooper. And I don't know why now everything's taped. They don't want to do it live. And now they're selling these special shows to show you what happened behind the scenes.
Well, not only that, how you gonna put canned laughter in if it's live?
Well, that's true.
I remember I had John Wayne, and I took John Wayne down to my audience. And a woman said to him, how old are you? He says, my age doesn't matter. He says, but I'll tell you this, I've got 7 grandchildren, and I still drink like an SB. And we were live.
Oh, boy. Did somebody grab for the mic switch at that point? Or?
No, there's nothing you could do.
Yeah.
Nothing you could do. All we could do was edit it when it went out to came back to the West Coast.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Don't you think that there's a certain amount of adrenaline that's there when you're doing it live that isn't when it's on tape? People are more up. They're a little bit more...
Absolutely. It's the same as doing a Broadway show and doing a movie. It's the same. Once that curtain goes up on a Broadway show, that's it.
Yeah. People
you
are
do
going
a movie and you goof, you say, okay, sorry, let's do it again.
See, I can't imagine doing like the show you said before where they give you the line and then you have to finish it live because you don't know how that's going to go. That is really...
Well, here's the way it was. You had 3 people on each team. The host then was Carl Reiner. Later it became Merv Griffin.
Mm-hmm.
He starts a storyline. Okay?
Yeah.
When he stops and the buzzer buzzes, you must pick it up exactly from where he left off. But in the meantime, you and your team are trying to get in a secret word and trying to fool the other team into thinking that you didn't get the secret word in.
Okay.
So, for example, let me think now. I remember in one particular case, I said something and I didn't know what I had said. I really did not know why the audience was laughing. It seemed Paul Winchell they said that this scientist was very busy in his laboratory. And the buzzer buzzed. No, and there was a knock on the door. And the buzzer buzzed. And the professor said, and I said, don't bother me, I am busy making water. I meant as a scientist. You hear?
Yeah.
And the audience started to laugh, and I said, well, what's so funny about making water?
Uh-huh.
And then they screamed. But that's the way you had to do it. The minute the buzzer buzzed,
yeah.
There was a knock on the door, and the professor said, buzz. Don't bother me, I'm busy making water. I meant I was inventing it.
Yes. And both ways, it's funny.
Of course.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But they were reading something in that you hadn't thought of just at that split second.
I had no idea. The look on my face was unbelievable. What are we laughing about?
It's 17 after 11 o'clock. Joey, would you mind if we took a phone call or two from people if they have a question for you?
Not at all.
Maybe a comment. Joey Bishop is on the line live, and we can talk with you if you'd like at 829-2345 or 1-800-322-9377. We'll be right back.
Illinois State University's Braden Auditorium and Grandview Entertainment present the Happy Together Tour.
So happy together.
Featuring the music of the Turtles.
And you know she'd rather be with me.
The tour also includes Gary Puckett. The Association. And the music of Spanky and Our Gang. This is not a nostalgia tour, but fresh renditions of classics from the 60s. 60s music you didn't hear in the Big Chill. Sunday, October 21st, 7 p.m. at Illinois State University's Braden Auditorium. For information, call the ISU Braden box office at area code 309-438-5444 weekdays from noon till 6 p.m.
19 after 11 o'clock. Joey Bishop is on the line. We could talk about the Rat Pack a little bit. You've been close to that group, haven't you?
Yes.
That was a group that consisted of Sinatra,
Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin,
Sammy Davis,
Peter Lawford, Shirley MacLaine, myself, and Alan Thicke.
Why the name Rat Pack? Where'd that come from?
Actually, that was not what we were called. Somehow we became associated with the original Rat Pack. Belonged to Humphrey Bogart. It was called the Holmby Hills Rat Pack. And then Frank got into that, and then when Bogart kind of, dwindled into the darkness, they continued to say Rat Pack. We were really known as the Clan.
Because you just hung around together?
Well, no, because we all worked together.
Uh-huh.
It was like, if you remember when John Wayne did a movie, he always had Ward Bond, Walter Brennan, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you played an Indian one time, didn't you?
I played an Indian, yes.
What was the name of that movie? All of a sudden it's escaped me.
The movie was Texas Across the River.
That's right.
I don't know why it escaped you. It's as big as Casablanca and Birth of a Nation.
Well, you're talking to an idiot. Yeah, Texas Across the River.
Right, with Dean Martin.
Uh-huh.
And Alain Delon.
Yeah. And I get the feeling that you guys had a lot of fun working together then.
I'll tell you the truth. You know, a lot of people, when they did pictures with Dean, thought that he would not know his lines. He not only knew his lines, he knew your lines, too.
So he really wasn't just on the sauce and all that
They
kind
all
of stuff.
talk about how he drinks and all. You got to show me a guy who can work Las Vegas 2 shows a night, get up at 8 o'clock in the morning and play golf for good money and still drink.
Yeah, sort of like W.C. Fields Association. I don't know if... Well, maybe he did drink. I don't know.
Oh, I think he did. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me get to a phone call here.
Okay.
Do you have a question for Joey Bishop?
Yes, I have.
Go ahead, please. You're on the air. Now, why can't I hear you? Sir, are you still there?
Yes.
Go ahead now. I think it's better.
Oh, okay. I was wondering whatever happened to the smart-mouthed little kid that played his son. They were such great combatants, and I wonder if he enjoyed doing the show as much as I enjoyed hearing it, and I'll hang up and listen. Okay?
He said something about my son.
Yeah, you're the kid that played your son on the show. He says you were great combatants. And he wanted to know what happened to him.
I think he's got me mistaken for Danny Thomas. No, seriously.
Is that right, sir? Maybe he did hang up.
You're right. I am sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Rusty Hamer you're thinking of, huh?
Right.
Yeah, well, that's all right.
But I'll tell you where he's not entirely wrong. When Danny Thomas went off the air and Rusty Hamer, in our series, we wrote in the fact that my friend Danny Thomas has sent his son to stay with us while he goes to school. So we did have Rusty Hamer on our show for a little bit.
Yeah, I knew he was connected with you.
Yeah, but only for a few, but we were not combatants. In other words, I took his side against Abby Dalton. Abby Dalton was his combatant.
Yeah, that was terrific, really.
Right. Thank you.
Did you have as much fun doing it as I enjoyed watching it?
Well, doing any kind of film is tough. It's really tough.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes, don't they say, Joey, that comedy is one of the most serious businesses?
Stand-up comedy. Stand-up. When you do stand-up comedy, you're out there all by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody to help you. You look at George Burns. He is as funny now as he was with, if not funnier than when he worked with Gracie.
Yeah, and that's remarkable, isn't it? To think.
As a matter of fact, some hotel in Atlantic City offered George Burns a 20-year contract, and he refused to sign it on the grounds he didn't think the hotel would be around 20 years from now.
Yeah, that's neat. Sir, thanks for the call.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Right.
If you have a question for Joey Bishop, all of a sudden some other things may come to mind. I'm wondering if there are, let me pan your brain here a little bit, any particular guests that you had on when you were doing the talk show, Joey, that really stick in your mind? Anything that was really, we talked about some of...
Okay, Shelley Winters.
Uh-huh.
Shelley Winters came out, it was in July, and she came out wearing a mink coat.
In July?
In July, on my show.
Uh-huh.
I said, Shelley, you're not going to sit around in the mink coat. Take it off. She said, I can't take it off. There's nothing on underneath. What had happened was she was nude in her dressing room. When I announced her, she just grabbed the coat and came out. I didn't believe what she was saying. I said, I don't believe you. You mean there's nothing on underneath that? And she said, no. And we walked up stage, and she revealed herself.
On camera?
No. We walked up stage.
Oh, I see. Away from the camera.
With our backs to the audience.
Yeah.
And I was in a state of shock.
Were you able to talk after that?
I was able to talk like any other mink.
Those are some of the things that we maybe we weren't aware of at the time, but she got to you that way, yeah.
I remember I had a new sponsor, brand new sponsor, first night, Mrs. Smith's Pies.
Mm-hmm.
And I had Buddy Hackett on. I held up the pie, a lemon meringue pie, and Buddy Hackett hit my hand, and the pie went flying. Now, we were live, and we got a call that the sponsor had canceled.
Oh, no.
We
During
got
the
a call
show?
The sponsor had canceled.
Yeah.
Unbeknownst to me, the next night, Flip Wilson came out with a blonde wig, pretending to be Mrs. Smith. And he said, I am Mrs. Smith, and I don't want your friend Buddy Hackett spoiling my pies anymore. I'll tell you the truth, because me and Murgatroyd, we're out there in them fields picking them lemons. And we don't need him spoiling. And would you believe it? The original contract for Mrs. Smith's pies was for 13 weeks. When they saw this bit with Flip Wilson, they re-signed for 26.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Saved it right there.
Yeah.
Good morning, WJBC. Do you have a question?
I really don't have much of a question. I just thought it'd be kind of nice to be able to say that I've talked to one of the big names in Hollywood.
Well, you are.
What's your name?
Kevin Lowry.
How are you?
Oh, not too bad.
Good. How's the weather there, by the way? It's so hot here. So hot here in L.A., it's unbelievable.
We have heard about that, yeah.
Gosh.
It's 74 degrees, sunny. We probably have more comfortable weather here than you do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're up in the 90s here.
Yeah. Kevin, thanks for the call.
Ah.
Appreciate it. You don't have a question, huh? Just wanted an opportunity to say hello. I think that's kind of neat.
That's nice, yeah.
Yeah. You're on the air. Hello.
Yes, this is Mrs. Lydia Dambold. And Sunday, I won $100, and I told you what I was going to do with it. And I've never received my check yet.
Joey, do you have her money?
No, I haven't. I was told I won $100, and he wanted to know what I was going to do with it. And I said, I'm going to give it to my church, the Trinity Lutheran.
Yeah, ma'am, I wonder if you'd call our switchboard and...
I just got two callings at the switchboard, and they told me to call the
Oh, well, we have Joey Bishop on the line right now.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't want to get involved in...
Well, whoever back now to be on the sponsor wheel, have them call me.
Well, hang on a minute, will you? Joey, do you want to handle this?
Well, I feel I'm being involved in a swindle here. I didn't know remember owing anybody $100.
Yeah. No, I think what happened was sometimes it takes like 2 weeks or so to get the check out. Ma'am, if you...
I never did before.
Yeah, all right. Ma'am, if you'll... See, this is one of the things that happens when you're live, Joey.
Good, I'm glad.
This is exactly what we talk about when we're doing things spontaneously.
Why don't you people pay your debts?
Good morning, WJBC. Do you have a question for Joey Bishop?
Talking about your bloopers.
Yeah.
Yeah, how about that? Here I am, an innocent guy in California, and I'm $100 in debt.
Sir, do you have a comment?
Yes, I am a long time fan of Joey Bishop's. And if he ever does get back to where he can promote his own program, get the sponsor for his own program, I want to be one of those interviewees on his program.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
What do you do, sir?
What do I do? Well, I'm about ready to retire from the post office.
All right. Well, you've probably seen a lot of different things happen there.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And
do you know that stamps are going to go up to...
Hey, let's not talk about that. Wait. You're going to blame us for it.
No, let me tell you the reason. They're going to go up to 40 cents. That's 3 cents for the stamp and 37 cents for storage.
Probably. Sir, thank you.
You go along with that old line, too, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, bye-bye.
I think it was either Burns and Allen. Well, I'm sure it was one of them who said you shouldn't really complain about the post office, though, because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't get half our mail.
Well, I'll tell you, they do a pretty good job.
Yeah. Joey, it's always fun to visit with you. I think you got something there. I think maybe we are kind of talked out with some of the big celebrities. We always look at them when they're selling some movie, or there's always some reason for them being on the show. I think maybe if you did get standard people, average, everyday, ordinary folks, that might make a good format.
I think that the average person, everybody walking around who is considered a nobody, has something to say, even if it's only a beef. And I think if we give them a platform to talk, I think it'll be interesting.
Mm-hmm. I think the other thing that television has to learn, or at least the bigwigs have to learn, is it's going to be pretty hard to hang on to the same numbers that they're used to hanging on to. There are so many things. We were talking about the other day. If the president wanted to get on and talk to the nation, he used to be able to get on 3 networks and be pretty much assured of reaching people who had their televisions on.
Right.
Now you can't do that because there's Cinemax and Home Box Office and all the rest of them. Cable that are out there, sure. It's just harder. I don't know, why. If I like a show, that's almost a sure sign it's going to be taken off the air.
Really?
I don't know why it works that way.
Well, that's very simple. You know what the logic behind that is?
No.
Well, I'm going to tell it to you. You're ahead of your time. If you like something, okay?
Yeah.
And you really like it, and it doesn't work, that means it's ahead of its time. Sooner or later, it'll catch up.
Yeah, I was certain that Cheers was going to go down the tubes, and the new Bob Newhart show, because I liked them.
Yeah.
And hopefully, thank goodness they stuck around. But sometimes it takes a while for them to catch on. I think you're right.
Well, that's because when I did my series, you were guaranteed 26 weeks and 6 weeks of reruns.
Mm-hmm.
Today, you're guaranteed 2 weeks, maybe.
Yeah, and that's hardly long enough to catch anybody, really.
That's right. They don't allow it to develop.
Yeah. Joey, I want to say I really appreciate talking to you. And
my pleasure.
I'd love to be able to do it again sometime if you'd ever care to.
Surely.
But in the meantime, if people want to pick up some greeting cards, I know Barbara Mandrell's been getting her share lately because she's in the hospital.
Oh, is she?
But you got the happy birthday, the congratulations, hope you're feeling better, all those kind of things.
Cheer up, yeah. I didn't want to go with I hope you're feeling better or get well. I wanted to go with cheer up.
Cheer up?
Yeah, I don't know. Get well means you're still ill.
Yeah, that's true.
And cheer up could be for a dented fender, a lost license, a divorce, could be for anything.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a winner, and
well, thank you.
I hope people will go out and pick it up. It's a colorful display. You got a whole big rack of them, and it can be found in a lot of the different stores around. Somebody said that they did see it already. So
yeah, I also want to thank you for the opportunity to talk about it on your show. I appreciate it very much.
Well, I meant it when I said you're one of my favorites, and I'd love to see you back on a regular basis on TV.
Thank you. Excuse me, the busboy just came in. Alan Thicke.